Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the quick teaser there for the GAVRA Racing Christmas Cup. You'll have to join the Discord to get some more information. I'm very excited and looking forward to it. And it does open up the opportunity for just something real quick. I know y'all aren't used to me talking during this time, but it is the holidays. And the holidays are not always the kindest on all of us. And anyone out there, don't feel like you're alone. There's a lot of gamers out there. We're quite a unique group, especially given the fact of how much we support each other. So, don't feel like you're alone out there. Reach out to a gaming community. I myself am lucky enough to have two great communities to support me. So, reach out to somebody if you feel like you're alone and you just don't want to be. By all means, I enjoy some of my free time during the holidays away from the family, but yeah, it's just not always yeah, if y'all can't tell, this isn't the easiest for me. This is a touchy subject, but yeah, don't feel like you're alone. Reach out to somebody. You don't have to say, hey, I'm depressed and I just don't want to be alone right now. You can lie. Just say, hey man, I accidentally made a big old pot of coffee, right before nighttime. And I just couldn't sleep and figured I'd get on here and play some games. What are you up to? But I guess that's yeah, not an easy subject for me. I actually have to admit the holidays are not always the kindest on me. Looks like we're waiting on, I did start this a little early so I could do this, and we're waiting on a few of our drivers to get in, but I'm gonna be quiet now, y'all, and we will get this race started very shortly. I'm really looking forward to it. Fuji GP with these amazing GT1 Mercedes, and a couple of these guys have a lot on the line right here at the end of the season. So y'all hang in just a minute and we'll have this race started. Yep, there is no reason I can't talk to y'all while, to everybody that is chiming in the live chat. Bowie says he is ready to do this. I believe Bowie, let me pull up these standings. I'll pull them up for y'all here in a minute. But I'm going to take a quick peek because I believe Bowie is... How is Bowie doing? Bowie is currently sitting in the middle, but he is in a really close runoff, so he can really he could really move up if he does good during this race. He could actually move up several positions. I dare say he could end up finding himself up there with Cypher Knight somewhere around 6th place, but at least it's cool your car is used to the cutscene. Alright, so these guys are loading in. I'm going to get this intro rolling, and we're going to get this race started because I'm super excited about it. And to start, as usual, good evening everyone, or morning or afternoon, wherever you are at the moment. GAVRA Racing is actually a really big league. We are all over the world. So, I'm glad y'all are here, and we are here at the Fuji GP. Let me change my screen so I can actually see this a little bit better. It is 3.89 kilometers, or 2.42 miles long. It's got 16 turns. Wow, it's really going to be tough on their tires tonight. They are in for 15-minute practice. Oh, no, I keep getting that wrong every week. They are in for a 10-minute practice, 10-minute qualifying, both under medium clouds. They have a 90-minute race, so we'll see multiple pit stops. They will start under medium clouds, and then it will go to clear, and they have one random slot. And I purposely did not look at it this time. Usually I accidentally don't look at it. This time I purposely didn't look at it because I want it to be a surprise for me and all the viewers to what kind of weather they finish the race on tonight. Give me just a second and I will get that map box off of the screen, because we are currently on Javier. It looks like he's out for a pretty good lap at the moment. There we go. I moved that up just a little bit too, so y'all could actually see a little bit more of what was going on track. And it looks like I'm trying to look through the roster here to see. We were having a few disconnects early on. It does not look like Sig has managed to get back in yet, which here very shortly I'm going to pull up the standings. Sig is right there at the top of the standings. He's got a lot riding on these last couple of races. Hopefully he'll get back in here. We do still have a few guys in the pit. Let's go up here to McCaleb, or Mike HLB. I'm constantly getting all the drivers' names wrong. I wish they'd do better on the Discord and help correct me. Yep. Mike is currently running a 1:35.04. I'm not sure how fast these cars are around this track, but that seems to be a really good time to me. And Bowie is not far behind him. Bowie's currently running also a 1:30. Oh, no, not also. He's running a 1:38. 3 seconds behind, but so what's the track temperature? 65 Fahrenheit, so, and 51 for air temperature. So the track is a little cool on them, so it will take them a couple of laps to actually get their tires warm tonight. Agulator currently running a 1:42, but it looked like Schwami just outdid him just a little bit. Yep, 3/10 faster. Cypher Knight, one of our fellow commentators here at GAVRA Racing. Y'all make sure you check him out on Friday. He covers the Radicals with Dutch Muso. They've been doing a great job, so yeah, definitely make sure you check them out. I know while I'm talking about commentators, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for the GTEs with Cadwell 5. I watched his stream the other day, and he has really stepped it up, I have to say. He's been doing quite a good job. Back to Javier. Javier still not quite got a lap in yet. Interceptor, he still has not set a lap, like I said. Track it's not cold, but it's a little chilly. Going to take them a few laps to get warm on the tires. Max Play, still not set a time. He's also been doing very good. It looks like Bax is keeping Jukebox company in the pit. And Marcus, how is Marcus? Marcus not yet set a time either. And now I'm wanting to look at the standings, and but we still got a little time for practice. Looks like Javier has improved down to a 131, setting himself in front of Agulator. Quite nice. This track for me is very tough, mostly because, let me get y'all a speedo up so y'all can see just how fast these guys are running, because it's one of the reasons it's such a tough track for me is there are very few low speed turns. Most of them are very high speed, as we can see there. Javier 160, I saw 162 miles an hour before braking all the way down to, I believe I saw a low of about 38. Very short braking distance, a lot of brake pressure applied, really easy to lock the tires up. If that gives y'all any indication of what these guys will be going through tonight. It's a beautiful track, it's a great track, but it can be very difficult with these wide sweeping high speed turns. As yep. Right there, that last turn, it's can be tricky to get the entry right so that you get a good exit. Javier going to the pit, so we'll go down and check on Agulator. I believe a lot of these guys like to take a little bit of their time and get a short break in before this race, and I don't blame them. Like I said, they're in for a 90-minute race, and after this we only have one race left, so I'm going to keep saying how much a lot of these guys have on the line for this championship. Sorry y'all, I just wanted to check in on our Discord, which everybody should, if you're interested in sim racing and league racing, then you definitely need to go to the website, gavraracing.altavista.org. The link is down below as well. And hey, man, Gavra's got a great website. I get on there constantly. I still have not found an end to the information that he has on there. So it is a very extensive website. And if you're new to league racing and you think you want to give it a shot, there is the information on there to sign up for the academies. And I believe I saw on there that he plans on adding a F1 academy. So y'all, if you're an F1 fan, definitely check that out. The F1 racing this season has been really good. Yesterday, me and Toby51 covered a great race. The whole top of the field literally fought it out the whole time. But yeah, at the bottom right hand corner of the webpage, you'll find a link to the Discord. And since these guys are getting on down to practice, and I'm a very slow talker, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some standings for y'all. And so, like I said, yeah, Bax is currently in the lead. And I just have to say, again, I say it every time, Sig does such an amazing job on the stats, which if y'all join the Discord, you can check it out in the results and standings room that he has made for us, and he puts all the stats for all the championships in there. And I really love the way he has it laid out with the multiple legs. And yeah, back to the points, y'all. I'm rambling. Bax is in the lead with 246 points. Now, while that seems to be a huge lead over Sig, which it doesn't look like Sig has managed to get back in yet. Hopefully he'll make it back in during qualifying, but Sig is still actually able, if he won this one and the next one, would put him right there with Bax. It would definitely be a runoff for the championship. Marcos is doing a fantastic job holding on to third position with 153 points. Fourth is Interceptor with 129 points. Fifth is GTS with 118 points. Cypher Knight is sixth. I always got to cheer for the fellow commentators with 116 points. So you're definitely seeing where some of these guys have a lot at risk right here at the end of this season, like Cypher Knight, GTS. Interceptor really not outside of the range of Cypher Knight when it comes down to it. McCaleb in 7th with 77 points, but he's got Bowie in 8th right behind him with 76 points, and Agulator in 9th with 72. Swami with 66. We're seeing the whole middle of the pack have really got a lot on the line for this race and the next one. Snaker in 11th with 58 points. Javier with 50. Even Javier, still a lot on the line from him. He could really move up a lot if he does good in this race and the next race, which will be at Sugo, which I know everyone loves. Sugo's a great track. 13th is Ibrich with 24 points. Math Gamer in 14th with 17 points. So see, all the way down here at the bottom with Math Gamer 14th, Max Play in 15th with the 14 points. But even all the way down here at the bottom, all these guys with these last two races stand to move up a lot if they can do really good. And the guys have just got out on track, but for some reason I decided I wanted to run back down here to my car and read y'all the standings out of my car. I don't know. You know, I figure I have a car, I might as well sit in it for a second. Hey, how you doing, Thomas? Good to see you in the feed. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. I was reading the stats, but I have seen you. Thanks for tuning in. And let me just, before I go over these team stats, I just want to make sure that, yep, I want to monitor. I don't want to leave. That's the last thing I want to do is leave the lobby. So for the teams, Morning Team seems to be in the lead. Oh, so Cypher Knight is, fellow commentator again, is in the lead with Bax Console Planet on Morning Team for the team. So Cypher Knight could end up finding himself definitely with a team's championship win there, which always looks really nice on the stats that the administrators keep for us. Chrome Basher Racing Club is in second, and that is Interceptor and Marcos with 282 points. The Honey Badgers are in third. Oh, yeah, that's just a mean name right there. Oh, that would be Sig and Bowie. Of course it is with the name like the Honey Badgers. They are both very mean on track. 265 points for them. Fourth is HRT, which is GTS and Javier Agulator. I believe some of those are maybe some replacements. Sorry, I don't have the exact information for that for y'all, but they are with 240 points in fourth. Fifth is Sabrent Motorsport, which is Snaker and Max Play with 72 points. Sixth is SA Racing, which is Swami and RR Alids with 66 points. 7 is IMA Racing, which is Math Gamer and Ibrich with 42 points. So even in the team standings, these guys still have a lot on the line. And now that I have gone over the standings, and I have made my way back up to the commentary box and decided not to sit in my car and watch the race from the pit, let's see how these guys are doing. Alright, so currently Interceptor is setting the fastest lap with a 131.159. Close to what we were seeing in practice. And of course, these guys are only halfway through, so that this should be about the time the tires are starting to get nice and warm for them. And where's Marcos? Marcos is pulling the second fastest time with a 131.945. Bax currently in third with a 1:32.360. I'm seeing a lot of these guys being very close with their times here. Bowie in fourth at the moment with a 1:32.562. Yeah, these guys are going to be I believe we're going to see some very close qualifying times, which could mean a lot of door-to-door action, though we do see multiple pit stops, so pit strategies have a big impact on this race. It's not just about your foot, it's about your head as well with these GT1s. And where am I at? Yeah, see, I confuse myself, y'all. Oh, these guys are moving around a little bit. Yeah, as we are seeing times improve. Back set himself up into second. Agulator moved up into the fifth current fastest time with a 1:31.984. Bowie currently with the sixth fastest time with a 1:32.129. Mike, or let me check my standings, y'all. I just want to make sure, once again, I always do it. He is in multiple races. So, yep. Okay, yep. Wanted to make sure, Mike, that was you. I was pretty sure it was. I just had to double check. Yeah, so we've got Mike HLB currently running the seventh fastest lap with a 1:33.818. I don't like odd numbers, but for some reason I like those numbers. Swami currently with the eighth fastest lap which is a 1:34.308. Max Play is still warming his tires up. He's currently got a 1:46. And Cypher Knight, oh, looks like Cypher Knight, I can't tell. These cars are so fragile. For a second it almost looked like he had maybe bumped his front aero a little bit there, but with a 150. But Cypher Knight, like I said, in points is currently sixth. Cypher Knight has been doing very well in the races and has had some very good battles with a lot of the drivers across the field. We are seeing some of the drivers, looks like they're settling on their, I would think they're settling on their time. See, Bowie's coming through the pit, Mike's in the pit. They are sitting in the middle of the field. They're only 1.5 seconds, or a little bit more technical, 1.6 seconds off of Interceptor and Bax's time. So yeah, we're seeing these guys set some very close lap times tonight. Definitely going to make for a very intense first couple of laps, possibly all the way to whenever the first pit strategy kicks in. Oh, Javier did get on the gas a little too early there. Agulator, let's see how Agulator's managing this final turn. Yep. If I understand that turn right, it's almost crucial that you really need to get on that outside curb, but it looks to be one that could also throw you very easily, so definitely looks like it's going to take a bit of skill to come across there at the speed these guys are really going to want to carry tonight. I can keep saying. They only have one more race after tonight, which will be Sugo. So everyone with a lot on the line. Sorry, I was quiet for just a second there, y'all. I wanted to check some of my settings, make sure everything was hanging in pretty good there. And so yeah, that fast, and I forgot who I was on. Yep, we are still on Agulator. Looks like Bax has settled on his time, which I don't blame him. He's in first, not by a whole lot, though. It looks to be only 8/10 of a lead over Interceptor. Interceptor could still, where's Interceptor at? He still could, he's coming up. And let's see if Interceptor manages to get a little faster. No, I don't believe he, well, no, he did improve a little bit. He is now within 3/10 of Bax, so very close indeed. This is going to be quite an interesting race with these guys. Marco's still not very far behind him. I believe that is about 7/10 separating Marcos and Interceptor, so we could still possibly see Marcos put himself into the second starting position. I'll stay with him and we'll see if he improves as he comes across the line. And yeah, unfortunately it does look like we did not get Sig back in, which is unfortunate. Like I said, I think me and him talked about it, and it'd been close. He'd have been right there on top of Bax for the lead, but he would have had to have had first place for this race and the next, and I believe it still may have come down to almost a tie. Did Marcos? Nope. Marcos decided to pit instead of staying out. You can see these guys do only have just a few seconds left. Yep, and that is the end of it. Yep, so as we can see, we have Bax in first, Interceptor will start second, Marcos third, Agulator fourth, Javier fifth, Bowie in 6th, Cypher Knight 7th, McCaleb, or Mike HLB, sorry, will be 8th, Swami 9th, 10th will be Max Play, and as always, Jukebox is going to bring up the rear. And yeah, see y'all, I don't know why I do this. Every time I go over it, I run down to my car. Yes, I want to retire. No, oh, don't exit monitor. Yep, there we go. Sorry, y'all. Yep, almost made a huge mistake there. Definitely would not have been good. And it looks like we have they've got about a minute and a half before the lights will start going off. All of our drivers definitely, I would think, would be on the edge of their seat. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. Everyone with a lot on the line. And actually, while we have just a second, I'm going to grab me a quick swallow of something to drink so I can make sure I get through the start. And here we are, down to 30 seconds to go. I hope everybody is as excited as I am. Even though I might not always sound it, I really am. 15 seconds. We should start seeing some lights any minute. Or it may not give me actually the lights from everybody. We're getting some flashes from the drivers. And they are off. Bax has maintained his lead. Interceptor is right behind him, followed by Marcos. Javier's moved up a spot. Agulator holding on to 5th. Cypher Knight, dropped down and then made his position right back up, but then Bowie made his way into 6th. Cypher Knight 7th. Caleb is 8th. Swami 9th. Max played 10th. We have seen a little bit of a change up in with the leaders as Javier and Interceptor have managed to get by. I would say what happened, but I was so busy reading the names and keeping track of where everyone was, I missed what happened. I do believe someone went a little wide in turn 1, but everyone still right on top of each other. Everyone's still within 1 second. So far, these guys are off to a phenomenal first lap. These cars are absolute beasts. And Javier is managing to hang on to his lead. But Bax is really trying to get himself in the position to make a move on Interceptor. Let's get right there with these guys, because this is where some of the action is at the moment. Yep, Marcos right there with, as we have Interceptor and I believe that is Bax coming side by side down into turn 1 right in front of Marcos. Let's go check on those two. Yeah, Javier is just barely, only not even a second in front of Bax. Everyone all the way down to 4th place, still within 1 second of each other. And I very fast have to go back down here because there is not much of a gap between any of these drivers, as Cypher Knight is right on the back of Bowie looking to make a move. Agulator also right behind Cypher Knight, followed by Mike HLB. And I do have to say, Schwami and Max Play, both of them, they also are not very far behind McCaleb. We are getting to the end of lap 2. Leaders are still in battle. Mid-pack still in major battle. It looks like these guys are playing it a little safer. We saw times in the 130s and 131s during qualifying. But I have a feeling with this second lap, they're really going to pick up the pace a little bit. So I'm going to... It's like Cypher Knight. See, everyone not quite in the position to make a move. I'm going to jump back up here to Javier and Bax. This is the battle for 1st and 2nd. Bax is trying to go for the move. He's on the outside, but he does have to make it through the turn. Yep, just the way the track works right there, I believe, gave Javier the run, but Bax is really giving it everything he's got, trying to go around the outside, but not quite able to get there. Javier definitely on the defense right now. I believe we are coming down here to the bus stop in the kink. Yep. Bax doing, really applying the pressure. I do believe he was within about 2 feet. Sorry, my accent there, y'all. He was within about 2 feet of Javier, so very close. Fantastic driving skills. And, oh, Bax is going for the inside. Javier got it a little bit wide, but yep, as I was thinking with watching these guys during practice and qualifying, you really almost need to get to the outside there, which Javier proved, as Bax did get around him coming through the turn, but Javier on the outside line did maintain the run. Is Bax going for it down the inside? He is. He's got the inside. Oh, this is the exact same position we saw last lap. Let's see how it turns out this time. Will he stick it down the outside? Not yet, but they are side by side. Oh, Javier did manage to keep the lead. Very tough corner to come through, side by side right there. Very high speed. Very risky, guys. Great driving. And if these guys ever give me a chance to breathe and get away, I want to check in on Interceptor, because Interceptor is really right there on top of Marcos. Cypher Knight, fellow commentator, is also right there on top of Bowie. Only 2/10 separating Cypher Knight and Bowie. And let's see, Interceptor and Marcos, I believe that is about the same, about 8 or 9 tenths. Javier and Bax are really slugging it out for the top podium position tonight. We are on lap 4. They have not let each other go. And unless they have extremely different pit strategies, we could see this go on all night with these two, y'all. Looks like Bax decided to just ride Javier's slipstream a little bit there. He wasn't quite able to get himself in the position to get around. And this is gonna, just real quick, hopefully we don't miss anything, I want to check in on Interceptor. Like I said, he is right there behind Marcos. Yeah, he won't be, he's pretty close. We should be able to see him in the, able to make a move before long. It looks like Cypher Knight has fallen a little farther back from Bowie. And these cars, the aerodynamics is a big thing. I tried to drive them, I couldn't do it. These cars are definitely outside of my talent range. I do not possess the skills to drive these things, but from what I understand, the aero is a huge factor, so that means if you can, the closer you can stay to your opponent, the closer you're going to stay to your opponent. Meaning is you can ride his slipstream out that much better. Mike HLB is trying to close the gap on Cypher Knight. Cypher Knight is managing to hold him at bay for the moment. But I have to go right back up here to these leaders, y'all. Look at these two. Lap 6, they're still going for it. Bax looks like is going for the inside again. Oh, and he did manage to get the run there on Javier. And we are seeing a different position change this time going through this turn. Bax has managed to get himself in front of Javier. Javier's closing that gap very fast around that fast right-hander. He is definitely trying to set himself up for a move. They're very high-speed turns, and yet while I say that, and I'm going to grab me a quick swallow of something to drink, and I'm going to get y'all the speedo up here so we can see what kind of speeds these guys are running, and I'll get the map up there as well. Oh, as it looks like we did just lose a driver. Javier really holding it on right there on the edge of that turn. You could really see his car bouncing around a little bit. That had to be very difficult to make that stick. Oh, it looks like we've got Interceptor and Marcos. Yeah, are these two teammates? I should know this. I read y'all the team standings. I believe these are two teammates, and whether they are going to work together or slug it out for the whole race, we'll have to wait and see. Like I keep saying, it is the end of the season. There's a lot on the line, so I imagine these guys are probably going to slug it out. But Marcos has managed to increase his lead a little bit. Let's go down here to Schwami. Oh, Swami was right there on the back of Agulator. He may have got into some dirty air coming around a corner. Not exactly sure what happened there, but Swami has been having some really good races. I quite enjoy commentating on him. We are currently on fellow broadcaster and commentator here at GAVRA Racing, Cypher Knight. Cypher Knight is having a very good run. He is not far from his qualifying pace at all. And as this race progresses, I'll have a little bit more insight as to what some of their pit strategies may do, and I'll start talking about some of that. But as for now, yeah, we are right back to Marcos and Interceptor. I have to say, it's kind of hard for me to tell if these guys are working together or trying to fight, but they're definitely doing a great job. It's good to see two teammates right there on top of each other. Oh, yeah, I'll start watching what I say a little bit better. That could be misconceived quite wrongly. Let me try it again. It's great to see two teammates following each other around the track like that and able to keep up with each other the way they are doing. Sounds a little bit more appropriate. But Marcos is actually, while Interceptor is riding his teammates' slipstream, Marcos is actually riding Javier's slipstream at the moment and managing to gain some ground on Javier. Bax has, all of a sudden, I've just noticed, has done, out of nowhere, has managed to pull himself it's a 5-second lead now over Javier. So this could definitely be where pit strategy is coming into play. This could be really, as we see these two going for a move. Oh, and Marcos has made it down the inside, but it looks like Javier is going to retaliate. He is definitely fighting back. He's not going to have it. He is definitely right up in the slipstream at the moment, trying to set himself up for that move. I have to say, that was I did not see that coming at all. That was a move out of nowhere. Yeah, Javier definitely putting the pressure on Marcos. And I'm sorry, y'all, got quiet for a second. I'm sitting here looking at everyone else's times down through the board. Yeah, I believe the separation of drivers, basically what we're seeing right now, and what I was going to say about the lead Bax has managed to pull out, that could be nothing but a huge difference in how much fuel these guys are carrying. If Marcos and Javier started out with a full tank and Bax went very light on fuel, that definitely would give him a huge speed advantage in the beginning of the race. But pits are a big thing with the hour-and-a-half race, and so it's pretty key to have that last pit strategy timed out with the end of the race. But now, if I remember correctly, Marcos is one, and I really should know it because I say it every race when I see him pull in the pit. And I'm pretty sure it is, I believe it's Marcos and maybe Mike HLB that tend to go in the pit with only about 1 liter of fuel. So yeah, those guys definitely really have their fuel consumption figured out. Javier's still not letting Marcos go. He's got himself in a good spot to keep riding his slipstream. Yep, as we can see right there, the slipstream is definitely giving Javier a little bit of a speed boost coming down the straight, as he's definitely closing the gap as they come down the straight. Yep, I was just fixing to wonder if it would be enough to allow him to make the inside move. Wasn't quite enough of a gain to get the inside move, but he is still right there behind him. And it looks like we have Mike HOB is going through the pit. He may be pitting early. But, excuse me, y'all. Yeah, any kind of mistake in these cars can be disastrous. I had several of the drivers tell me just how fragile the front aero kit on these cars is, and you lose just a little bit of it and it can be very devastating to your turn in. And I thought it was going to end up being Javier and Bax we saw slugging it out for the whole race, but now it's looking like we're going to see as Javier is going for, as we do have a little bit of contact, and Javier did get spun round. That is definitely one of the instances that I am glad I am not on our stewards team. And yes, that's right, everyone watching. If you're wondering how a lot of league racing works, GAVRA Racing has a team of stewards to review incidences at the end of races. They actually have a good many guys. They make some really good calls. So yeah, if for some reason you do end up with a racist incident, you just make a claim. The stewards will sort it out, and sometimes people get penalties, sometimes you don't. But that's just racing. That's how they handle it on the real track. And GAVRA and all of our administrators here do a great job at simulating the real world conditions for us, all the way down to we're never quite sure what the weather's gonna be. Like I said, that's why I didn't look at the random weather slot. Drivers are only informed of the final random weather slot. I believe it's either 15 minutes before the race or it is when we load in. To be honest, I think the admins have been telling us early, and I'm just one of those drivers that's been lazy and not looking. And then sometimes I forget to look when we load in the lobby. But yeah, a lot of times the drivers don't know what the final weather slot is until it is actually race time, keeping a very real world effect to the racing. Sorry for being quiet there for just a second, y'all. I'm gonna grab me a something to drink really fast, and we are down to, these guys are almost through the first 30 minutes. They are through the first 20 minutes, And I'm going to take this quick opportunity. I'm going to stick us up here on Bax. We haven't seen him for a second. And yeah, y'all give me just about 15 seconds to grab me something to drink, and I'll come back and keep running my mouth. Oh, and I did. By the time I was fixing to grab me a swallow of something to drink, I looked at the screen and I see Marcos and Javier closing in on each other for a very renewed battle. These, like I said, these two aren't letting each other go very far here. Marcos managed to get around Javier. Javier has been trying to make up that spot steadily. Like I said, all these guys, a lot on the line. Even the guys all the way at the bottom of the standings still stand to move up several spots if they do even halfway decent on this race and the next. And it looks like we have Swami pulling through the pits. Swami could be one of our first... Oh, never mind. So where am I here? I am on, still on Javier. Javier still is trying to close in on Marcos. Yep, and as y'all can see, it looks like we may have had another disconnect. While Project Cars, well, actually Project Cars is an amazing sim. I mean, I find the F1 2019 fantastic as well, but in my personal opinion, I find the Project Cars to be the best thing that is available to us for the console, hands down. And while disconnects do happen, and we always like to try to blame Project Cars, it is actually unfortunately it's Sony's servers more than Project Cars. I don't know, maybe Project Cars could say something to Sony about, fixing the server, and we wouldn't get so many disconnects. But we still do have 8 drivers, all of them with a lot to gain or lose. We've got some of the field is in the lead of championship points. Some of them are in the middle, some of them are down at the bottom. Everyone stands to move up or down several spots with this one race, and yet we still have Sugo to decide the final outcome. Hey Joanna, how you doing? I'm really hoping that you didn't put that up there a minute ago. I have to admit, tonight the chat's been a little bit quiet. I may have scared everyone off at the beginning. So if you said hello a minute ago, sorry for not seeing it earlier. But glad you're tuning in. And I have to say, I'm glad you won't be in the Radical race on Friday. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to race with you. But that's just kind of the problem. But definitely looking forward to some great battles at Sugo, as you are definitely one that I fully trust to go side by side into the turns with. So hopefully we'll have some great battles on Sugo anyway. Just glad you're not there to beat me on Sonoma. Javier still not letting Marcos go. This is going to be our ongoing battle, I believe. And I'm just going to take a quick pick because I do have a little bit of insider information I'm able to look at, but I'm just not going to talk about it. And yep, I moved us up to Marcos because he's doing a great job of staying in front of Javier at the moment. Interceptor, where is Interceptor? There you are, Interceptor. Interceptor is only 2 seconds in front of Marcos, so if Interceptor does not keep the pace up, he is going to be caught by Marcos very soon. Let's go back down here to Javier. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, work always does have to come first, though. But just in case, if you do figure out how to live off of sim racing alone and not have to worry about food and sleeping in between, please let me know, because I will definitely be right on board that with you. And let's see, Javier, since I want to pay all of our drivers a little bit of attention tonight, Javier, well, no, I'm going to stick here. Javier's been doing really good at closing the gap coming down the straight. And then I'll go through, because I want to see, we are getting down to the first 30 minutes into the race, and I want to go through and pay all of our drivers a little bit of attention. And I believe while I go through there and I talk about all of them, if I can pull it off and look at all these different screens and all this different information all at one time, I'll also do a recap of where these guys are sitting in points as I go through them. Oh, so you're right there next to Fuji then. Have you ever got a chance to go down and ride your bike on it? I know you're a big, I've seen on the Radical feed you're a big bike fan. Me personally, I'm clumsy with 4 wheels. There's no way in hell I'd go near anything with 2 wheels. I mean, most of the time I wish I had been blessed and had 4 feet. No, Javier was not quite, he still is really close, but still not quite able to close the gap and get himself in the position for a good move. No, he's a little bit closer there. Alright, y'all. One more time. We'll see if Javier catches him down the straight one more time. And then I'm going to go through everyone and recap on their points. It looks like Bax has decided to pit. He is going to be our first pit stop, taking tires and or at least fuel, most likely tires as well in this race, but that has promoted Interceptor to the lead, with Marcos now in second and Javier in third. And this is a very, I forgot all about how long this pit lane is. Oh, nice. Yeah, I bet a little track day car is a lot of fun on this track, Joanna. But yeah, you kind of scare me. I got a couple of friends that ride bikes, and they all scare me. They've all tried to talk me into getting on the back and going for a ride, and there's just no way in hell. I'm way too much of a sissy to get on the back of a bike. I won't even sit on one of my friend's bikes when it's parked in the yard. Like it's just sitting there. It's not even crunk up. But you know, I've got that look. If I sat on it, it'd probably fall over and break my leg. And yep, since everyone got themselves a little bit separated, yeah, let me go up here to Interceptor. Interceptor is currently in the lead, and like I said, yeah, definitely, Joanne. Yeah, put a link up of your track day on the Discord. Yeah, everybody, make sure you go to the website, check us out. If you want to join us, there's a link to our Discord down at the bottom. And let's see where Interceptor is sitting. He is currently in the lead. How is he on points? Interceptor is currently 4th in points with 129 points. And let's check on Javier. Javier currently 2nd in the race. Javier is having a really good race tonight. And currently setting a very reputable time around the track. And how is Javier in points? Well, with the race he's running tonight, it surprises me to say that Javier is in 12th with 50 points. But oh, now I see the problem. We did not have Javier for a couple of weeks there. Or either the points just aren't there. To be honest, I'm really not sure what it is. It's not listed as a disconnect or a did not race or a did not finish. So let's go to Bowie. How is Bowie? Bowie currently 3rd in the race at the moment. Bowie is in 8th place in the points with 76 points. Excuse me, y'all. Like I said, a lot of these drivers can move way up because right in front of Bowie is the next guy up in points is only 1 point above him. So Bowie definitely can move up a lot. I dare say he could find if he does really good, find himself, yeah, definitely in the 7th or 8th position in points. And Cypher Knight, fellow commentator here at GAVRA Racing. That's right, I'm gonna keep saying it over and over and over. If nothing else, I am repetitive. And yeah, Cypher Knight currently in 4th place in the race, but Cypher Knight is sitting in a fantastic, sorry y'all, little tongue-tied, fantastic 6th place in the points with 116 points. He does good in this race. He can really, I'm going to keep saying it, he can really move up a lot. Everybody in this race tonight really stands to move up or down quite a bit. Bax now finding himself in 5th place at the moment. But, like I said, I believe he was the earliest person to go in for a pit stop. And Bax is the championship leader at the moment. I am not in the GT1 championship room, so I'm not too sure, but the way the points are looking, and with Sig not being able to get in and race tonight, it looks like, I believe Bax is definitely going to be our championship winner. But it does look like, well, yeah, this is really weird, y'all. I can do these tenths math real quick, but now I'm sitting here looking at whole numbers, and I'm just not quite able to do the math. But no, it did. From what I'm saying, it looks like Bax is definitely going to end up being the championship winner. But I'm not going to run my mouth and claim him as that yet, because as Fanta Balls will tell y'all, I'm great at sticking my foot in my mouth. And let's go down and check on Agulator. Agulator currently in 6th place for this lap. And he's on a really nice run here at the moment. Really flying around that fast right-hand turn. Hard, he'll be hitting brakes nice and hard. Yeah. These cars accelerate and decelerate so fast. And yeah, Agulator is 6th in the race. In the championship points, he is currently sitting 9th. He is right behind Bowie, only 4 points behind Bowie. So y'all, as I keep saying, everyone in this race tonight, they really all have a lot on the line. Beam Racing on the live chat saying go for it, Bowie. Yeah, Bowie could he could really move up a lot. All these guys could really move up a lot. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Some of these guys are extremely tight in the points. It actually almost, it looks like, I believe, yeah, I believe it's second, third, and fourth, I think, definitely are still up for grabs in this championship. And let me go back down here to Marcos. Marcos currently 7th in the race. Hopefully nobody changed positions while I've been doing all this, because I would not have noticed. And I would just repeat the drivers. But yeah, Marcos currently 7th, and Marcos is closing in on Agulator again. How is Marcos? Yeah, Marcos is in 3rd in the points. Where is Caleb? Mike HLB in the points. Yeah, while Marcos is safe from Mike HLB, who is currently behind Marcos at the moment, he's got a little bit of a lead on him there. Wow, Marcos really putting the pressure on there and going for the move. Agulator trying to defend. Marcos managing to make it stick around the outside. Very impressive with these cars. It's they got a very touchy throttle, a little too much on the gas, and that is it. But yeah, I was gonna say Marcos, I think, is safe from Mike HLB in the points, but he is still in danger from some of the other drivers. And let's go back here and let's check on Mike HLB. He is in 8th at the moment, but in the championship point standings, he is right up in the middle. He is right, but oh, he's in a rough spot. He is in between Cypher Knight and Bowie, so he is finding himself in 7th place with 77 points. But once again, still, if he does really good this race and the next race, he could potentially challenge Cypher Knight for Cypher Knight's position in 6th. Wow. Yeah, once again, everyone, a lot riding on it. Yeah, Joanna, yeah, these Mercedes, they've got so much torque to it. Of course, that also means, though, you know, the cool part is when you hit that wall, you can take that wall a really long ways with you. Which, no, that's just a joke on some people. The joke on the difference of horsepower. Oh, as we see, McCaleb is coming through. Let's go up here with, who is close? Let's go up here to Bowie for a moment. Max has made himself back up into 4th. But no, I was going to say the joke to people that don't understand the difference of horsepower and torque is, horsepower is how fast you hit the wall, and torque is how far you take that wall with you. So a little bit oversimplified explanation of the difference of horsepower and torque, but it's actually quite true. These guys have breached the first hour. They're down to 50 minutes left. Back's still the only one to go through the pit. Let's go up here to our current leader, Interceptor. I must say, this race is shaping up to be very, very interesting for me here at the moment, as we can definitely see different pit strategies are fixing to start coming into play. And thankfully, it looks like the weather is holding out so far. It looks like we have moved on into clear weather. The clouds have cleared out, and they've got some nice sunshine at the moment. And hopefully it'll help warm the track up a little bit. Maybe get these tires a little bit extra sticky right here for a couple laps, and let everybody get a few lap times in, good lap times in, maybe catch up with each other. Sorry y'all, I am just checking our GAVRA Racing Discord look real quick. Oh, okay, I see what it is. Well, Joanna, you're a huge motorsports enthusiast. I figured you'd get it. And it looks like Javier is coming in for a pit. Let's see if we can get just a little peek at what he maybe is getting. Definitely fuel. Definitely some, he's got a little bit of a sketchy pit crew there. You might want to talk to them afterwards. I don't know if I trust his pit crew. They literally look sketchy. Or is that just too cheesy of a joke? But anyway, yeah, it looks like he's definitely, probably not showing us the animation, but I think he definitely took some tires. So that is Javier and Bax are currently the only ones who have ran through the pits. And once again, y'all, the pit lane on this track is amazingly long. It's really long. Oh, that would have been a shame, Joanna, if they had done that to this track. No, I like it just the way it is. To have turned it into an oval NASCAR track would be. Yeah, I think we got enough of those. You know, nothing against oval racing. It's very tough racing. I think me and Sig were talking the other day about like the outlaw class and stuff like that, the oval dirt track and racing, which is some really intense racing to watch. It's a lot of fun to watch. Apparently he's also been burning that up on the iRacing. It looks like Bowie is closing up to Bax. Bax now made his way back up into second. Like I said, y'all, pit strategies is going to have a big impact on this race for these guys. And considering, let's see, who was it I said? I believe I said Javier and Bax were the only ones to have pitted so far. So, yeah, definitely once Interceptor drops into the pit, that will definitely put Bax back up into the lead. Bowie has not pitted yet, so that should put him very close with Interceptor. But once again, this pit lane is so long, it may put some of these guys in jeopardy of losing their positions to all the way down to Marcos and Javier, I believe. Yeah, so Javier definitely hoping to make up some positions once people start to pit, and he really is only 1 minute 4 seconds behind Interceptor in the lead. Really long pit lane. I mean, that pit lane's got to be a mile. Yeah, the last corner's really hard on the banking on this one. It kind of looks like it almost needs that bank for these guys to be able to pull off the speed that they're coming around that last turn. It can be quite the tricky corner to get right, but if you get it right, these guys seem to be flying around it. Yep, and we are currently, so let's go up here and let's see if we can take, just to get a little bit of a peek and see if we can get a little insight as to what these guys are doing. Oh, it does not look like Interceptor's taking tires. Looks like he's just grabbing some fuel. Sometimes it does miss the animation. But we also have Agulator in the pit. He also is taking fuel. I'm just sitting here for just a second. I want to see if these guys take tires or not. Oh, it looks like Agulator's crew might have left the jack under his car. Oh, nope, they managed to get it. Just for a second there, he did have the hover tires on, which we have seen in a couple of races before. Not necessarily out of Agulator, but out of just, you know, the random cars. It does not look like either one of these guys took tires. It looks like they just grabbed fuel and ran right back out, which should give them an advantage over some of the other guys that might not take tires. Bax has now found himself right back in the lead. And it looks like he is coming up on, I believe that is Cypher Knight. Yep, so Cypher Knight, I'm sure we'll let Bax on by here in the straight. Yeah, Bax definitely getting the run on him. He'll be able to get on by there. So let's check in on Bowie. Bowie also coming on down the straight. As Bowie still has not pitted. Yep, pit stops are going to have a huge impact on this race, and I think more than the pit strategy impact on the race, I believe is going to be the length of that pit lane. Yeah, y'all are going to get tired of hearing me talk about how long this pit lane is, but if you have a look at that front straight and how long it is, that's pretty much the entire pit lane. So it takes them quite a while to go down it. Let's see if I can start making a little predictions on through here with some of these pit strategies, though Marcos is starting to close on up on Interceptor. I believe Interceptor already pitted. Marcos may have also pitted. If he did, it looks like he may be going for a two-pit strategy. I believe some of these guys have worked it out and will only be pitting once, whereas some of these guys may be pitting twice. Just a difference on fuel loads and tires. Some people prefer to stay out longer with hard tires and more fuel, or more fuel and soft tires, or run lighter with fuel. It's really a lot of different combinations you can put in there. Yeah, no, it's not just you, Joanna. That's why I was saying it looked like his pit crew may have left the jack under his car. No, yeah, but no, seriously though, every so often they get a little bit of it's just one of the little leftover glitches. It really doesn't happen too often, but every so often it will make the cars actually look like they're not on the ground at all. We have seen a few cars run around the track literally about 2 foot off the ground. I mean, it was really cool to watch, but a little odd. Marco's still not letting Interceptor go, but like I said, I believe Interceptor has pitted. I can't remember if Marcos has pitted yet or not. So if he has not pitted, then it really won't do him a whole lot of good to get by him. The best thing he could probably do would be to ride his slipstream out and save a little fuel and catch up with everybody else. Bax back up to, and wow, Bax is made himself up to a 10.5 second lead over Bowie, who, like I said, I believe, no, Bowie still has yet to pit, but Bowie needs to get himself enough lead over Interceptor, who has pitted, to maintain his position in second place. If he can get enough time distance between them, he can get into the pit, grab some fuel, and get back out there, and he can still get back out in front of Interceptor, though it's gonna be close. But Interceptor is trying to fend off Marcos, so that will slow him down a little bit. So y'all, pit strategies. This is what we're seeing a lot of come into play here. Yeah, Joanna, sometimes you just can't help but to laugh at some of the little glitches that we get. Sorry for being quiet for a second there, y'all. I did need to grab me something to drink. For a quiet person, sometimes I do a fantastic job of non-stop running my mouth. And Bowie, I dare say, is literally, I believe he's going to be coming into the, either what I'm seeing is wrong, or he's going to roll into the pit almost on fumes. I'm going to have to I know Marcos is right there on top of Interceptor, but I've got to, I can see what kind of fuel load Bowie has at the moment. And I'm not going to say it because I know some of the other drivers do watch the stream while they're racing, but it appears Bowie has got him a very solid pit strategy going here, and a great handle on how much fuel his car is going through. But he's got me on the edge of my seat, so I can't take the camera off of him despite the fact of Interceptor and Marcos. And now that he's actually going into the pit, I will say that Bowie just rolled into the pit with 2 liters of fuel. So that's how close Bowie has his fuel figured. And where is Interceptor? Oh, I believe Interceptor just came down to the start of the straight. It doesn't look like it. Bowie is going to get back out on track before Interceptor. But we still have almost 40 minutes of this race to go. These cars use a lot of fuel. From what some of the drivers have told me, they use an obscene amount of fuel. So there is the possibility we will still see several guys come through the pit again before this is over. So none of this is decided yet. Looks like we had a back marker getting out of the way for the front markers there. I do have to say that across all of the leagues, the respect between front markers and back markers going both ways has been absolutely incredible. I have to say, as someone who has been a back marker trying to unlap himself, the front marker in front of me was more than happy to let me by when he saw I was trying to unlap myself and was running a good time. And as someone who quite frequently is a back marker, I am always more than happy to get out of the way for the front markers. I believe in some of our races we actually had some really interesting battles where we had 2 front markers and 2 back markers on top of each other, both in battle simultaneously. It was actually great to watch on track and showed amazing respect from one driver to the other. Marcos now pulling through the pits. And where did, let me check on Bowie's, because I wanted to see where that put him back out on track. It put him back out behind Marcos, but Marcos is in the pit. And I believe this will, Bowie will take the 4th place position while Marcos is in the pit. Javier pitted a while back. I can tell how long Bowie plans on staying out now, but gonna keep that to myself and keep y'all on the edge of your seat. Keep some of the drivers that are watching on the edge of their seat. Yep. And Javier is on a good run, but Bowie only, it appears to be 24 seconds difference. 32 minutes left. So, yeah, if Bowie can manage to run, he runs 1 second faster than Javier's average time around the track at this point, he will catch Javier. So Bowie, don't count him out. He's still definitely in the run for a good 3rd place. And I dare say, if he pushed really, really hard, he could catch Interceptor in 2nd. But at that point, he will need to run about 1.5 seconds per lap faster than Interceptor's current lap time. And I said at the beginning of the race, seems a lot of the racers tonight are taking it. Seems they're pushing very hard. We can see as the lap times with the 133s, but we did have qualifying times in the 130s and 131s. So it does look like they're trying to be a little bit safer throughout the race. Though, of course, race time is usually a little off of what... Oh, but why is Bax? Bax, why are you in the pit? Oh, Bax's pit crew again. Bax's pit crew left the jack under his car. And his pit crew did not look sketchy. Yeah, I agree, Joanna. Yeah, Bowie's gaining time. He just needs to stay on it. And, of course, with Bax having to go through here at the pit. Let's see, where does that put him? Oh, yeah, that put him right there on top of Interceptor as he came out. So those two literally locked in mortal combat for 1st and 2nd place as Bax was managing to get back out on the pit. Or out on the track. He was just exiting pit lane. That was some really good timing, and I dare say some very, very good luck on Bax's part on his pit crew just managing to do a good job and getting back out on track. Bax is definitely going to look to stay out for the length. That was his 2nd pit stop. I want to have a look at Bowie here. Sorry to be changing back and forth to y'all. I'm looking at one or two things that I don't want to say because I know some of the other drivers are listening. Oh, this is going to be, all I'm going to say is this is going to be a very tight runoff. These guys' cars are very evenly matched here at the moment. Because we could see Bax did not take, I will say we could see that Bax did not take tires. Interceptor's been out on for a while on his tires, so their tires should be in relatively the same condition. Alright, Joanna, will you have a good day at work? Thanks for tuning in and keeping me a little company. Yeah, these two definitely going to slug it out for the remainder of the 28 minutes and 45 seconds that they have left. I think their cars are very evenly matched at the moment. We will not see them pit again. Javier is doing a fantastic job holding on to his third place position, but as me and Joanna were talking about, Bowie is closing that gap. He is now down to 26 seconds from the leader. He is doing exactly what I said he needed to do. He is outlapping everyone. He is currently running 1 second a lap faster than Javier. Javier only 24 seconds in front of him, 28 seconds to go. He keeps this pace up. He will catch Javier with about 4 laps to go, which is more than enough time to make the move and take that third place away from Javier. And speaking of all these guys changing positions for the leader, here shortly, I'm going to keep talking, but I'll be taking short little breaks while I get the guys, the racers' names loaded in for their podium after the race, because they have definitely deserve, after the performance they're putting on tonight, to get their name put in the podium boxes to show off to everybody. And real quick, thanks to everybody that is tuning in and watching. Hopefully I'm doing a somewhat decent job of keeping y'all entertained. I'm not the most social person, but I try. Yeah, and while we're just seeing these guys run around, just once again, go to the website, check out the gavraracing.ultravista.org. The link is down below. Also down below is the subscribe button, the notification button, and the like button is over on your left if you want to hit that too. And all of it is much appreciated by me and everyone in the Gavra community. At this point, there are races pretty much daily, and actually this week we're in for the last and final special treat of the LMP1 class. I'd tell y'all where they were racing, but that's where I slacked on my job as your commentator tonight, and I did not look where they will be racing Saturday, so you'll just have to tune in Saturday and check it out. But those guys will be in for a 3-hour race. They all do an amazing job. Those LMP1s are absolute monsters on track, and it is extremely tough to run a 3-hour endurance race. But I talked about the links below. Go to the website. There's information is on there if you're new to league racing. You want to try it out, see if it's your cup of tea or not. Personally, I find league racing so much better than the monotonous public lobbies that can tend to be nothing but glorified wreckfest. again. As you can see from the drivers and their performance tonight, with GAVRA Racing, we get good, clean, consistent racing. And if we do mess up, like I said before, we got a team of stewards. But if you're new to league racing, you want to try it out, there is the information on the website to sign up for the academies. There is a Project Cars 2 Academy, and like I said before, to put my foot in my mouth, hopefully not too deep down my throat, but GAVRA also has plans for a F1 Academy as well to go with the F1 Super League that is currently running, which next week will be their last week as well, so y'all make sure you check that out. Those guys have been doing great. Commentators have been doing a great job. I have to say, this has been an outstanding season all the way around here at GAVRA Racing. But yeah, go to the website, go to the Discord, check us out. It's a great community. We've got people all over the world. Yeah, some of us race when we wake up first thing in the morning, and for some of us, we have some that it's the morning time, some it's the afternoon, and it'll be nighttime for some of us, and we'll all be in the same race. If that gives you any idea how worldwide GAVRA Racing actually is. I would quote on how many active drivers we have at the moment, and you would think I'd be able to do that math, seeing as how I can sit here and do the quick calculations on gaps. But let me see here. 2 races Monday, 2 races Tuesday, race Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that is 7 racers with an average of 14 racers per. So yeah, definitely 100+ active drivers at the moment. So there is no shortage of racers. And there's always something going on. And if you tuned in at the beginning, and if you didn't when the video is over, or actually I have the DVR enabled now because of my internet, and I can actually now support it. Oh, as we did have someone getting a little loose there. We saw someone with their car spun around. You can back it all the way up while the stream is going, and you can check out the very beginning, and then you can come right back up to where we are now live. But there was the teaser trailer for the GAVRA Racing Christmas Cup coming up. Be the WRX cars on ice. Make sure y'all keep an eye out for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun to watch, and a lot of fun for all the drivers to participate in. From what I understand, the administrators have a great lineup of tracks set for it. And once again, to put my foot in my mouth, I believe the weather could end up being quite extreme on top of that ice. So always great racing, but just a further note, you're already on ice, so it really, no matter what they throw at you, you know, you're already on ice, so it doesn't matter too much at that point. But you will be thankfully in those all-wheel drive WRX cars, which are great for handling those types of situations. We are down to 20 minutes left in this race. Bax is still in the lead. Let's go through and do a quick rundown. Bax is currently in the lead. His last lap was a 1:33. Bax has a 4.5 second lead at the moment over Interceptor in second. Interceptor running a 1:34. Javier is in third, running a 1:36. Javier only 6 seconds behind Interceptor. If he can, his last lap was 2 seconds slower than Interceptor's, but there is still plenty of time if he can manage to get, like I keep saying, all he needs to do is just 1 second a lap faster, just like Bowie and Cypher Knight as well. Cypher Knight's still a very good chance to catch up with Marcos. He's running I'll get down there in just a second. Y'all, sorry, skipping all over the place. Bowie, fourth. still managing to close up the gap. His last lap 3 seconds faster than Javier's last lap. Let me try to do this quick math there, y'all. 13 to 20 is 7. And then another 11. So he is down to where he was close to 30 seconds behind. He is now down to 18 seconds behind Javier. Excuse me, y'all. So Bowie definitely pushing very hard, looking to get up and catch Javier and snatch third place away from him. And I can't wait to see if he does. He's got a very solid chance of doing it, but I have to say Javier has been having a really good run tonight, so it's gonna be close, everybody. All the way down to the wire the whole race. Marcos currently sitting in 5th with a 1:33 at the moment. Looks like he is 21 seconds behind Bowie, but his last lap was almost 1 second faster, so he is also trying to close that gap. All these drivers with 18 minutes left trying to close the gap on the person in front of them. Most everyone has a very good chance of closing it in as well, as I'm seeing everyone's lap times are steady increasing and decreasing. It looks like, I believe that was, who was that? I believe that was Javier. No, that was not Javier going wide. I believe that was Marcos giving us a little bit of a flash there. I believe that was, let me look at the map. Yep, that was a back marker getting out of the way of Marcos. So, yep. See, like I said, great respect from all the drivers across all the way across the board. Back markers respect the front markers, and our front markers respect the back markers. But yeah, Marcos he'll be tight, but he could possibly close the gap on Bowie. He'll have to really push now, as we are getting down to the last 17 minutes of this race. Cypher Knight currently in 6th. His last lap was a 1:35. He is not quite, it looks to be about 29 seconds behind Marcos, but a 6th place in this finish will still keep Cypher Knight sitting very nicely in the points. And Agulator, which, don't get me wrong, Cypher Knight can still catch Marcos. Marcos is going to have to be a little heavy on the power to make sure he can maintain that lead. It would be pushing it, but Cypher Knight still can do it. It is within the realm of possibilities. So, you know, don't hang that hat just yet. Agulator currently 7th, running a 1:39. What I'm seeing on times, it looks to be, unless we have something major happen on track, that looks to be about where he will finish. And as soon as I get done going through everybody and talking about the times, I'm going to go back real quick and look at some of my insider information that I'm not going to talk about because I know the drivers are watching, and see if anybody will be pulling a last minute pit stop, which throws a monkey wrench into everyone's race. Yep. We have, as Mike does go a little bit, okay, he didn't go just a little bit wide. He did go very wide there. But Mike has, it's hard to tell. It looks like he may be carrying some front end damage there. Mike has been having one hell of a race tonight. 8th place will still leave him sitting very nicely in the point standings, though. So, and at my opinion is, always go for a top 10. You make it in the top 10, that is a win. Yes, that is a very, very horribly cheesy line, but I like it anyway. I'm a cheesy kind of guy. What can I say? So yeah, let me look back up through here. No pit. No pit. No, he will not be pitting. He will not be pitting. Also, no pitting. Yep, definitely not. Absolutely not. Nope, I will say that Mike HLB is our lightest fuel runner at the moment, and I believe even he still has plenty of fuel to last the race. So we should not see any last minute pit stops. Bax is managing to hang on to his first place with a 6-second lead at the moment. And this is about that time where I'm gonna start getting our podium ready. I've not disappeared. I am still here commentating. But if I miss something on track, somebody poke me with a stick and get my attention. Because I am starting to load in some of these guys' names so I can get their podium ready. And if y'all hear a little bit of keyboard clicking, I do apologize about that. When I get everything redone a little bit, I'll get everything a little farther from the microphone, so it won't be quite so bad. And hopefully y'all can't hear my poor PlayStation in the background sounding like a hairdryer. I'm really starting to worry about that thing. Don't think they're supposed to whine quite that loud. And let's see, where are we? We are with the GT1 class. Yes, that is right, y'all. I am talking to myself. And if anybody that is watching wants to chime in and has a vote on driver of the day, then please chime in. I'm really not sure who I would pick tonight. All these guys. Actually, so far, I think I'm looking at Javier to call driver of the day. I got a feeling I think that's what it is, Joanne. I've had a couple of people tell me that I really need to just take it apart and clean it, and it should take care of it. Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the fan is just literally about to fly away. But I have not wanted to risk it right here at the end of the season. Because I can be a little clumsy, and there is the chance that once I open it up, I may break it. And if I do, I want the in-between seasons to have the chance to get the PlayStation so I can make sure I'm here for everybody next season. But yeah, I definitely need to get that clean. Wait a minute, I thought you were working. Yeah, I guess a vacuum cleaner would be a little bit safer from my idea. I'm not going to completely say what my idea was. Apparently, looking at yours, my idea makes me look not so smart. So I'm just going to shut up now. And let's see, how are our drivers? Let's see, Bax is still in first. Let's go down here to Interceptor. And Interceptor still managing to hold on to second. Bowie now 17 seconds off of Javier. Bowie's times are still about the same. It looks like Javier picked up his pace a little bit to try to match Bowie's pace, which is now at this point, Bowie will really be pushing it. Excuse me, y'all. Unless something happens, and man, I sure hope nothing happens, because these drivers have been doing a great job tonight. But unless something does, Bowie's going to be hard-pressed at this point to catch Javier. Yeah, I think Javier definitely picked his pace up. Let's go over there to Javier since I am talking about him. Yeah, Javier, I believe, picked his pace up to try to match Bowie's. He must have noticed Bowie was starting to gain. Oh, Joanna's telling me I should clean my PlayStation every 6 months. Excuse me, y'all. I'm definitely not fixing to say how long it has been since I cleaned my PlayStation. Yeah, maybe somewhere along the lines of never cleaned it. So yeah, it could be an issue. Alright, so let's see, who else's name do I need to get loaded in here? I've got Bax in here. Looks like he's going to be in pretty good for his first place win. Need to get Interceptor loaded in here. Because it looks like Interceptor is going to hold on to his second place position. Javier's 14 seconds behind him, and Interceptor is 6 seconds behind Bax. So with the time we have left, 8 minutes left, y'all. Hour and a half race, 8 minutes left. We still have almost all the drivers we have started with. These guys have fought it out very hard tonight in some very difficult cars on, in my opinion, a very difficult track. And yeah, unless we get a bunch of people, unless somebody else has a different choice, I think I'm gonna end up naming Javier Driver of the Day. He is having an amazing run. And talking about Javier, I've got to get his. He's doing a good job. 3rd place right now. I got to get his name loaded in here as well, so I can give him his name on the podium here at the end of the race, because he is definitely deserving it. I'm not gonna lie, I'd kind of hoped we would see, I could see Bowie maybe come up into that 3rd position, but I must say, with Javier apparently missing a few races, he has came, and he's just literally, he's killing it tonight. That's why I'm gonna end up, I think, giving him Driver of the Day. Once again, unless one of y'all watching or somebody chimes in and has a better person to give it to, I think Javier's definitely gonna be my Driver of the Day. We're down to 6 minutes. Let me go down here to, I want to go down here to my fellow commentator, Cypher Knight. Oh, it looks like, wait a minute. Is Marcos catching up with Bowie? Marcos is close enough to put the pressure on Bowie with 6 minutes left in the race. We could see a battle for 4th and 5th position going on here, right here at the end. It would not surprise me. These guys always have some kind of trick up their sleeve right here at the end. And every time I go making their podium up, these guys do a fantastic job of keeping me on my toes and not knowing who is gonna be where and everything else. So yeah, let's keep this. Oh, as Marcos did spin around, how bad did that hurt him? He's put him three seconds now behind Bowie. He can still, if he 5 minutes is good. It'd be really close, everyone, but I think Marcos could still potentially push hard enough to catch Bowie, but it could be risky to push that hard here at the end of the race. Could put him in jeopardy of making another mistake, losing his 5th place position to Cypher Knight. But still, only 4 seconds from Bowie. Yep, as we can see on the track, a couple of the people are quite on top of each other. Looks like we've got a few people on the same lap. We've got somebody back there. We've got some front and back markers letting each other by there. Marcos is still close enough to put the pressure on Bowie. And y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to grab me a quick swallow of something to drink since we're down to the last 4 minutes. And yeah, Marcos still. Oh, Marcos has now managed to. Marcos pushed really hard and managed to get himself right back behind Bowie. He's just outside the 1 second mark with only 3 minutes to go. These are the two drivers to watch at the moment. Oh, as McCaleb, it looks like Mike HLB is having to pull a last-minute pit stop, which does always, it really hurts as the driver, but he was in no danger of losing where he is. And let's face it, we lost a few drivers at the beginning of the race from disconnects, so even being in last, Mike HLB is still in a good position, and he will still get some very nice points for the 8th place finish, which will definitely keep him in the runnings for the championship standoff. And we'll just, like I said, y'all, make sure you tune in next week, because several of these guys... Oh, as Bowie does go very wide there. He did manage to get it back on track. I don't have the ability to see if he picked up a slowdown warning or not. If he did, it's gonna really hurt him, and he will lose that position to Marcos. Bowie going completely defensive, going to the inside, which appeared to be a very smart... Oh, yeah, I think Bowie's tires have had it at this point. They seem to be really trying to shoot him off the side of the track on some of these lower speed turns. Well, I call them lower speed on this track being somewhere around 60 to 80 miles an hour, which by no means is slow. 1 minute left. These two guys really are. They're still slugging it out. Bowie is managing to stay close enough to Marcos to keep the pressure on. I believe everyone else is fairly locked into where they are. These are the drivers at the moment. Oh, as Marcos got a little bit squirrely there on the exit. He did give a little flash there. I'm not sure what happened. I wish I could have had a better camera view. And this is, again, glad I'm not on the stewards list. But Bowie is managing, did make the position. But I think Bowie's tires are definitely giving him some trouble at the moment. Let me switch over here to Marcos. Oh yeah, see something I can see that y'all can't see. Yeah, drivers are watching, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut about it. But these two definitely, one car is struggling a little. One has a slight advantage at the moment, and I'm not going to tell y'all which is which. And you actually wouldn't guess which one it is anyway. We are down to the last minute of the race. Oh, yep, nope, Interceptor and Bax have crossed the line. I totally missed those guys coming across the line. That is a great win. Javier coming across the line for a fantastic third. Let me go back here to Bowie and Marcos. They still have not crossed the line. They are still battling for position at this point. Marcos is giving us a flash. Bowie giving us a flash. Not sure what's going on there. Did Bowie let Marcos by? So apparently with that little bit earlier, that was a little bit of friendly contact and great sportsmanship from our drivers tonight. So we can see Bax with another amazing win. Interceptor in a fantastic second place. Javier, my driver of the day, out of nowhere in third. Marcos with a great fourth. Bowie in fifth. Cypher Knight sixth. Sorry, y'all. I'm looking at a really little screen here. Agulator has managed to hold on to his seventh. And Mike HLB last in eighth, but that is still a eighth place win. We did start with more cars. He will net some very nice points. And yep, just to get y'all over here to our screen for just our exit screen here. Yep, and I do have our podium up. Yep, as y'all can see, Bax was our winner, and he had a great run. I was really concerned at how his pit strategy would play out there for a little while. I think the same thing, Joanne. I think from the way the drivers respected each other there at the end, I think Bowie may have felt he gave him a little tap and yielded that position, which really just goes to show the amount of respect you get from your fellow drivers here at GAVRA Racing. So if you're ever weary about league racing, that shows you right there how much different it is from public lobbies. But yeah, I was very concerned about Bax's pit strategy there for a little while with that pit lane being so long, but he did manage to pull it out with a fantastic first place win. Interceptor pulled out a great second, and Javier again, not only with the bronze in third out of nowhere, but with driver of the day. I do have to give him driver of the day. He came out of absolutely nowhere and took that third place win. I think he totally deserves driver of the day. And real quick, I'm just trying to make sure there is nothing I'm forgetting. I probably should have talked to one of our drivers before the race and saw if anyone was interested in joining me for a fast interview afterwards. And I'm going to actually hang out. I'm going to do another ad for GAVRA Racing, and if one of our drivers jumps into one of our voice channel chats that our man Sig has made on the Discord channel that Sig made and maintains for us, and sometimes just how he has the time to keep up with the standings and maintain our Discord channel is beyond me. The entire team here at GAVRA puts in a lot of work, from the admins to the hosts of the races, all the way down to the commentators. They do a lot for the community. And yeah, real quick on my quick ad, I'm gonna give everybody just another second. But yeah, all the links are below. Make sure you hit the like button. It does help us out. Hit the subscribe button. And make sure you hit the notification button, because if you don't hit the notification button, we won't be blowing your phone or your computer up, and you won't get all those notifications when we go live with a new race every day. Like I said, 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday that you just watched. We got GTEs tomorrow with Cadwell 5. Those guys have been doing some really fast racing. Friday is the Radicals with, you saw him race here tonight. Yep, my brain quit. Cypher Knight and Dutch Muso, they do a great job. And Saturday will be the last LMP1 class endurance race. Like I said, 3 hours long. Very tough on those guys. And no, yeah, see, like I said, I really should have been a better commentator and talked to my drivers before the race, but I didn't. So, everyone, I guess huge thanks to everyone for watching. Huge thanks to the drivers, the entire GAVRA administrative team for the opportunity to be able to bring y'all these races. And the commentary team for helping keep up with the races. And I have been Jukebox73. I hope y'all enjoyed the race. Make sure you go to the website and the YouTube channel, check out the other races, and y'all have a good night.